And we're back.
And we're
here
back.
live, and I am excited, and I am very white.
I'm very white too.
Don't invite me to the cookout.
What happened to our excellent lighting?
Oh, because it went off. How's that? I have nowhere for my arm.
Because you're left-handed.
That's wrong.
Yeah, that'll be on the cutting room floor. I'm not gonna let you go out like that. I'm not gonna let you get canceled on my watch. That's not gonna make the edit either.
I'm gonna edit this one, not you.
Well, you can put it on your own page.
I'll do the director's cut.
I do not condone
This message.
Okay, so here we are, and finale night of Big Brother 23, best season ever. I'm happy. How do you feel?
I'm happy-ish. I'm happy for Tiffany,
Okay.
so that gives me some resolve.
We all knew who was gonna win coming into this finale night, but the excitement was still there. Why?
Why?
Because we still had an America's Favorite Player to crown. I have voted every single day for one solitary player. Keita has voted most of the days for a similar player.
You're telling my business.
And
Don't do it.
so that was going to be the actual winner for me, whoever ended up winning America's Favorite Player. And I am appeased, I am excited, I am proud that Tiffany is in fact America's Favorite Player, because it's just true. It's just facts.
Facts. I concur. Hashtag she's telling my business. I did vote for Claire the first day. And I told her I was going to vote for Claire.
I was
for
initially
AFP,
as well.
because just her,
Her graciousness.
to the cookout, to the calls and all that. But then Tony did convince me that I need to give my votes to Claire. She needs to have some sort of
To
Tiffany.
Tiffany, yeah.
That she needs to have some sort of justification.
Recognition for all the work she put in.
Yes.
And especially since a lot of the men all of the men in the cookout were not giving her props.
My top three are definitely Tiffany. Mm-hmm. She's smart, Big Brother super fan, making logical decisions, giving information.
I agree with you about Tiffany. I really like her. She's like everything that I think
Is
you
Big Brother
want in a Big Brother player.
Yes. I would have liked a top three and a top two to care about. I needed the jury to really hone in and give questions that could be not so definitive, game changing.
Yeah.
Not so I already know the answer, I already know who's gonna win. Going through the motions. Okay.
We have to ask
questions. X is winning. I want to have tension. I want to know, is Paul gonna win or Nicole?
And you know who would have given us that tension?
Not that Nicole is good, but because of the jury is hating Paul, which one would they choose?
Who would have given us that tension on this season?
Tiffany and X. Hannah and X.
Facts. Even Kylan and X.
Kylan and X would have given us who's gonna win, who's gonna win, who's gonna win,
villain or the hero.
Yes.
Batman or Superman.
With this stupid Kylan smile.
So I guess we're done. That's a good synopsis.
Okay. And cut. That'll be easy for you to edit.
Finale night.
All right. Yeah. Nothing else to say here.
Okay, so we started the night with the final 2 HOH comp, or final 3. The second part of the final HOH comp, we already knew.
I was gonna say we already knew
who was gonna win.
Yeah, we already knew.
It was
Asa
more
was
just
gonna win.
about what did they have to do to get Asa to win. So we knew that Asa was gonna win, or she won that part 2 HOH. So this is where the drama ensues. Who, in the event that she wins the third part of the HOH, who would Asa take to final 2? Her BFF or her fake one-sided showmance.
Fake one-sided showmance. Hello, say that again.
Big D was in the best position he could have been in, even as a loser.
Shut up.
Because he was guaranteed, no matter who won that final HOH, to at least get final 2. But
He didn't know how to shut up.
he couldn't stop talking. And I don't think there's ever been a Big Brother player that has talked themselves out
Of being in the final
of
two.
being in the final 2.
It's called lying. You don't tell somebody, well, I'm going to take him. And then if you do, then you don't slam and put down the other person that you're telling fate to their face that you're not taking them. At least if you're going to tell them, give reasons as to why. And it has to be deeper reasons than we had
Then we walked in together.
Yeah, we walked in together, X. And that, you know, we should leave out together. But it also should be bigger reasons than we had a final 2 the first day, first week. Big D. I just feel like you should give more strategic reasons if you're going to say something like that. Otherwise, shut up and lie to Azah.
And just keep doing exactly what you've been doing all season, which is laying around and sleeping.
Hello?
Just keep doing that. How hard was that to do?
Obviously, you've been successful doing that. You floated your way
You are a winner in floating.
in floating. Hashtag.
But he was so in his feelings about not being able to win one singular comp this entire season. And Azah, of all people, had the gall to win and beat him in a comp or in 2 comps. And he's like, I can't even beat Azah, but I'm a man and I'm supposed to be able to win and beat her. That's why I brought her along. I carried her and backpacked her throughout the season. And now she's beating me. And he felt so defeated that he, to bring himself up, had to put her down.
Boom shakalaka.
We were able to tackle the racism, the history of racism in Big Brother this season. Next season, it's going to be, we got to get rid of these misogynistic men that keep ruining seasons.
So now every season we're going to have to work on something. That's what
Yeah,
this is.
that's our mission
Yeah. Because we already
for next
know
season. Big Brother 24.
they're not going to let us do this again. Oh, we see this plan coming. They're, you know, any other groups are going to have to come more correct.
That's what you're going to have to say.
Oh, yeah. I'm about self-preservation, not about group preservation. It's the whites for me. Yeah, the plan is not going to work again.
So the mission then for next season is for women to finally band together once and for all.
Hello?
And do the duo thing.
Stop being catty.
Do the duo, have a woman hook up with the man. You're always going to be on the block together, man, woman. And then the
Always
women
vote out the
always
men.
vote out the men. Let's do it.
Let's do it. We want to go into, do we want to just talk all backwards and inside out and go into how Big D thought he was going to win? Okay. Tiffany and nobody else wanted to hear Big D in the final 2 give all his delusional comments for obvious reasons. But I enjoyed it.
Oh yeah. That's
It's
when
good TV.
When Azah lost that 3rd and final HOH comp, I was like, okay, Azah won't be in final 2,
But at least I get
who
to
will
hear
be? Big D,
Big D.
and his delusions. And boy, did he deliver.
And his delusion. Big D and his delusions. Because what did he say?
I started the cookout. Every single HOH that was
I was
HOH,
whispering in their ear.
I was there telling them what to do. Even if the cookout didn't want it, I
I still made it happen.
I kicked out all of you fools one by one. Every single one of you sitting there is
It's because of me.
And then the jury just...
Like, I need the camera editors, the camera operators, whomever. You're fired. You're fired. Why? I need a wide pan shot over there, okay? Or a wide still
we
shot.
don't need any editing. Just keep that one
On the
shot
jury.
on all 9 jurors.
You can do me a split screen,
picture
okay?
in picture.
PIP. Because I need reaction shots here. Hello? Give me my satisfaction. When Big D is pumping himself up, I need the jury to show me the real.
I also needed an audience.
I needed an audience for several reasons: to celebrate the blackness, and to give the real reactions, the laughing and the sneers and the everything.
uproar
Yeah.
of laughter that would have, like, the
Ensued.
jury gave me a lot. Like,
Yeah. The
this-
jury was very giving.
Yeah, they still made it lively even without a live audience. I appreciate them for that.
That's because of the seasoning.
There's a lot of seasoning in this season. Ooh. So they gave me what they could, which was more than most
Yeah.
would be able to. And Big D delivered. Yeah,
He
on his
delivered.
delusions.
He delivered on his delusions. And then, but I'm loving X's shots that we're getting of him sitting there like, "Oh, you
Keep
did that?
talking,
Yeah, keep
keep
talking. You're making me win. The more that you say, and then saying I deserve to win as much as he does." And what else did he say? Sitting there next to him, I protected this man. Thank you for saying you protected me to be in this spot, which kind of, sort of like a 15% doesn't sound good on X's behalf.
Yeah.
But it proves Big D's delusion. He
was-
protected, that he did enough to protect X.
Yeah, I guess I can now see what he was trying to convey there with the protection.
Yeah.
Maybe even
I got him here.
was the one that got him here because I kept protecting him.
And that's how great I am.
Which
You think
is
he's so great, but it was me.
partly halfway, like maybe, 10% true that X was protected, but it wasn't by Big D.
No, not 10% true. 98% true.
Yeah,
that
all
he
the
was
way true
protected.
that X was protected
Yeah.
by everyone throughout
Yeah.
the season, but not by Big D.
Not by Big D. Hashtag.
Sarah Beth also tried to give Big D some
All
more
the-
props than he even gave himself or needed to by saying, I know that you started fights to conceal the cookout, and that was very gracious of her.
Very gracious.
To even try to make a strategy.
She was smart enough to know that she was making that graciousness up, though. She gave him that.
I think she actually does believe that that was partly what concealed why she wasn't able to see the true dynamics of the cookout. She's probably been trying to figure out, how did I not see that? And it
Chicken
was
or the
partly
egg?
because of Big D.
Chicken or the egg. That was not his intention, though.
Oh, no. Yeah,
no.
it wasn't his
Yeah.
intention. But she's deciding that maybe that's some strategy I can give.
Yeah, I need
Big
to
D.
grab at something here. I need to understand, why are you sitting in this seat and not me?
Yeah.
Okay, so fine. Maybe you started fights.
So even then, Sarah Beth was a better player than Big D in the final two because she was able to give him strategy that he didn't even.
Everyone was a better player.
Yeah.
What meme did I send you? I sent you photos. Did you read it?
I didn't see
No.
it.
You don't care about anything. So I'm going to. Can I show the camera? Will it? No, it will not. Okay, great. Ranking everyone's contributions to the CO. Tiffany, Hannah, Xavier, Azza, Kylan. Those are all in one line. Next line is Davon, Bailey, Daniel R.
Facts.
Danielle R, which is
Danielle
Reyes, season 2. Candace and Howard.
From season 15.
Boom, she knows seasons. The cast.
That was the
of-
racist season.
The racist season. The cast of Canada, Big Brother 2. Next line, Xavier's nephew. The last line, Big D. Okay? That's
The order of contributions.
That's the order of contributions to the cookout.
All facts to me.
Can Big D, do people ever get out of their delusions? Like, I'm delusional sometimes, like, I feel like I'm really amazing. Praise the Lord. It's not a delusion, it's true. But sometimes it's years later where I have to go, oh, that whole thing I did and was doing and the way I thought, that was wrong. That was not a true thing at all.
I don't think this is
Do
the
people
first time.
ever come into themselves and go, oh, I was stupid?
The extent of his delusions make me convinced that this is not new.
Not new.
I think this is just a personality trait. Why is this turning red? It's going to go off in a second.
Because it goes off at 20, right?
I don't know. Hopefully it doesn't mean that it's out of space. Okay, continue.
Continue. What was I saying?
I don't know. Big D and his delusions.
Big D and his delusions. Whatever, who cares?
Okay, let's go on to the
Kylan.
next. Okay, yeah, Kylan.
Kylan's delusions.
That's not even delusions.
It's
He is
psychoness.
psychotic.
It is evil smile.
He is a villain.
He's a straight up villain.
That's the worst thing, is that he's pretending to be someone he's not. It's like he knows what he should say sometimes, and he knows how he should appear to others, but he's not. That's not his true self.
Like Dr. Evil,
You can only hold it in for so long.
Dr. Will, Mike Boogie, My Funeral.
You mean Evil Dick?
Dan. Oh, Evil Dick. What did I say?
Dr. Evil.
Same thing.
Dan.
Evil Dick.
Yeah, they at least own
They owned
their
it.
villainous.
Yeah. You're not.
Villainy.
And my girl, my redhead,
Oh,
Rachel.
Rachel?
she owned it.
Yeah.
I
could get with
Yeah,
that.
I can get with it. Own who you are. But this fakeness, and then him not owning, I think he had an ounce of smartness to pretend to own his issue in the jury talk at the end, trying to say about I'm sorry, which is not an apology.
In Julie's
questionnaire.
question, yeah.
To say,
Because he realized if Julie now is also asking me, this must be a big thing. So I guess I should say sorry to just appease you. But I don't really
sorry
feel it.
if you feel offended,
Like,
which is not an apology
look
at
at
all.
the tape. I just saw the tape. And so if you listen to my words, you'll see that it's true. That was never the issue.
Never
the
the
issue was
issue.
never about if y'all had that conversation or not. We saw
We
on
saw
the
it,
live feeds
and X
that y'all
was
had
there.
the conversation.
We don't need to see a
Yeah,
tape.
it's not about it being objectively fact or truthful or not. It is whether it's appropriate to talk about his nephew when you're getting kicked out.
To prove what point?
And also
when you cast your vote too. Well, because what did he say? All the kids in the world.
Oh, yeah.
What does he say? What does he say?
This is a message to all the kids.
All the kids need to know that there are more important things in the world than money.
Yeah. Yeah. Because his whole thing now, since X kicked him out, was he's not being honorable, and he's just choosing the easy way out to win, and that's not how I wanted to play the game, and that's not how I wanted to win. So that is one way, but the better way is to face up to a challenge and to take me, basically.
Yeah.
He's only upset because he didn't take a challenge. He only did his fake apology
After being harassed in several interviews.
Yes.
I've been asked this several times.
I can't believe.
Are you putting the math equation together here?
Y'all still
1
haven't.
plus 1
equals you were wrong.
equals you were wrong. RONG.
And he's like, we'll talk. And I invite you to watch the tape and to listen to the words. He's thinking that all of America
Is delusional.
dumb.
We're dumb.
You don't listen, America and Julie. We heard you say, if your nephew, if Kobe has no one to look up to.
And you named him after Kobe.
Is that an objective fact?
Right. And you're basically highlighting also that his father passed.
Right.
Which is rude.
Right.
And he's a child.
And now he can't look up to Xavier because Xavier kicked you out. Do you think that
to get him money?
that Kobe, that his nephew is going to care?
Right.
That
Uncle X,
Uncle,
you kicked him out, and I mean now we're going to lose, and I won't have money for my college and my life.
But I'm upset.
But I'm mad at you.
Didn't stand up to a challenge.
You didn't stand up. You didn't go against Batman, which has no superpowers anyway, right?
Yeah, Batman doesn't have superpowers.
So what? That's the dumb thing to want to be.
He's just a vigilante.
Yes. So the logic is not there. Action.
In the jury roundtable, when Kylan had the unmitigated gall to equate Big D
and Hannah. What? Unmitigated gall. Everyone die. There's no other. We're not saying anything.
There's nothing to say.
No,
that statement by itself.
Period.
I loved that immediately. Alyssa,
Yes.
Hannah,
Yes.
Tiffany
Yes.
said what?
What? I'm offended. You want to go against the best, yet Hannah's here.
Is right here. So what are you saying,
Yeah.
Kylan?
Point, please.
What are you saying?
Point, please. What? I want an unedited jury roundtable.
If
Give me
I
that.
had one criticism
Oh,
of tonight's show,
Oh.
it did not deliver the
For the
Kylan
jury.
reaction.
the Kylan reaction of him entering.
that we came for.
Yes. We came to see the true, real, gutted reaction of
The only
Kylan
two people
getting
that
evicted.
gave me that they showed giving me a reaction that I was here for was Sarah Beth and her non wanting to hug Kylan.
Yes.
Yes, Sarah Beth.
Yes.
And Brittany, who was over the moon.
Yes.
Joyful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Kung Fu. Like doing all of the Kung Fu.
But other than that, we didn't really see the other people's reactions to him until he made his little stupid comment.
But it still wasn't as great. Like
Yeah, we need an
I
initial reaction.
unedited.
Yeah.
The thing is that CBS has to know. I know airtime is whatever airtime is, but doesn't Moonves own it all? And to God be the glory, and Jesus is Lord. Julie Chen Moonves. What did you say? Julie Chen Moonves.
I can't take credit for it, but
Can't
I saw
take credit.
someone say Julie Chen and Julie Chen Moonves are two different people.
Two different people. You heard it here first, folks.
And it's true.
Or second. It is true. So we have to, give God the glory for everything. But so fine, we have live feeders, right? That pay $6.93 a month to have access to the live feeds. There is nothing in the world that will tell you that we will not sit and watch an unedited version of a jury roundtable. I could have
Right.
a whole episode on
Right.
that.
Right.
You can say, yes, this was the finale. But behind the scenes, tomorrow, you'll see the discussion.
Like Sunday's episode when
Yeah.
they were running through their fake games and why they needed to win. That time could have been much better spent
Jury
talking about the
roundtabling.
jury and thinking about what factors are going behind their votes.
All of the analysis.
And not having to rush through. Like, that's the whole point of the game.
The whole point of the game. Give me my analysis.
That's what the jury is. Why
The purpose.
Why it's so.
It's why you're a jury.
An integral part of the show
Is your thought process
is
behind your decision making.
Jury management. So
Yes.
we need to see
How
how
did it get managed?
effective are they at. Yeah, how effectively did they manage the jury? The only way we can see that is if we give us
See the thoughts.
their thought process, but
Yes.
beyond a little 5-minute segment on finale night.
Yes.
And then especially because the questions, or maybe especially this year.
Well, I'm
the
glad Dr.
questions-
Will is not there.
That I didn't even
do
think
you like
about
that, or do you not like that?
I think
he's-
I'm okay with that.
You're okay with that? I feel
At
like
least
he's
maybe
dry.
this year.
And I like them. I mean, I know it's produced,
Yeah.
but I like them guiding their own questions and thoughts and
I
reactions.
think it's because this cast is so smart, they were able to do it. They
Yes,
didn't need
they didn't
a
need a Dr.
guiding,
Will.
mediating.
But also, coronavirus made him not be there too.
Yeah, but it worked.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that, but that's why it didn't seem weird, because there are some seasons where they're not even
They're gonna sit there with no words.
and because they don't even know what the game was or what their
they're
purpose in it.
they're Instagrammer. What are they called? Influencers.
Yeah, influencers.
So they don't know how to negotiate.
Yeah, and they
the
don't.
conversation.
They're not self-reflective enough to know what happened and the layers and how the house is working together. So they needed that outside perspective to say, why do you think this person would do this? This season, this cast already knows.
They were multi-layering
yeah,
all over
they
the
were doing
place.
more levels than I think Dr. Will would have been able
Yeah.
to. He wouldn't have added anything.
No. Mm-mm. Can I just say about Oz's insecurity?
Okay.
She's insecure. Okay. End scene. Back to you, folks. Yeah, I mean, deferring and giving her whole game over to X for the suckiness. Yes, Big D should not have said the things that he said to her at the end. But are we talking about $7.50? Are we talking about $750,000? What are we talking about? Okay, great. X, yes, he won, but he was also gifted the whole game.
Yes.
You know, the whole thing, like, what's crazy in the whole Big Brother scheme is that certain arguments work when they work, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes we can go for somebody that's throwing comps because the strategy of it is pulling them through. He didn't have to throw comps.
No, he didn't have to win.
He didn't have to win,
Yeah.
but also he didn't have to throw comps. Like, he was trying to throw comps to keep the blood off his hands. He probably, whatever reason he gave in the finale, he threw one comp, I think, that worked in his favor. But the rest of them, the game was given to him.
Yeah, he let Tiffany and Kylan really do the dirty work. They were the ones that were winning the HOHs, and then Hannah came in and also, you know, got her hands dirty. And so it's like, is that an honorable or a good strategy? I guess it's a good strategy, but it's just not enjoyable as a viewer.
Yeah.
But
I sucked until I didn't have to.
He's not playing for us, so yeah, do what you need to do. But it's not the best type of gameplay to watch as a viewer. That's why
What is
even
the best type of
with
gameplay?
Kylan's craziness and villainy, I wouldn't have minded him being a winner. I don't know. I feel a little bit like gross saying that, but only because
I feel gross hearing that.
I know, but only because if we take out his exit and we look at everything else up to that point, he played like a winner. He won comps. Like, if he hadn't won,
He got in people's ears. He changed.
Xavier wouldn't have been able to get as far because Xavier wasn't making any moves. He wasn't strategizing with people. He wasn't.
He had no power.
Yeah, he had no power, and he had really no social game where he was making alliances and deals,
going in and out.
His two alliances were things that were given to him:
Yeah.
the Kings team and the Cookout.
Yeah.
And he didn't talk
And
to
he
anyone
just
else.
lived within that.
And
Talked to Alyssa.
so yeah, Kylan, if he hadn't won and gotten his hands dirty, Xavier would have been out the door a lot sooner, or he would have been out the door, period, and a lot quicker. So yeah, Kylan wasn't afraid to make moves, and he manipulated, maybe, you know, too much. Especially Sarah Beth, you know, a lot of unnecessary things.
Unnecessary.
But, you know, that is part of the game, some level of manipulation.
It is part of the game, but to what extent? Like, already
Yeah.
you did the manipulation with the Cookout. You didn't have to
She's
dig
still
in
a human
further
being,
to
yeah.
say things that were secret and private that furthered you nowhere.
Yeah.
You already knew she was leaving. Yeah.
But that's what I would say is a type of like higher tier gameplay than
Actually
just
playing.
Yeah, than just sitting back and letting other people do your work.
Yeah.
But
because
once-
he can be seen as a floater. He can be.
And that's really interesting with how you think about what X did versus Azza. Why is it that X
Is
we
an
consider
honorable float.
him being protected,
Right.
and Azza is considered her
Doing
being
nothing.
carried?
Ooh. Vocabulary. Let's go to sleep on that.
I mean, I'm just asking a question.
Vocabulary words. Word wall.
We're gonna have to stop. Let's just stop it now. She doesn't care about my editing life at all.
I care. I know how to edit also. But I do never have to match up audio separate than video and then match them
That's
together.
what I'm talking about.
So I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
That's my point.
Okay.
Okay. Big D thought he carried Azza. How? No more
In
words
what
need to
world?
be said
Yeah.
about that. Fell
I
into the
wonder
lap.
how he feels about being voted out unanimously. I wonder if he's shocked.
That's
at
a self-esteem
oral.
issue. He said, "Just give it his 75,000. Just give it his 75."
He did
you
say,
know,
"Yeah, I'm
but
ready
I
to
don't
get
know
out
if
of
I
here."
totally believe
Yeah.
that sentence. You say what you say and you feel what you feel.
Yeah.
His hierarchy of selfness does not agree with the words that he said. No, he is like, he's into sympathy votes. He's into America doesn't like me that much.
No, he's into America Loves Me.
No. He's into, he didn't win. He didn't win the game, and
Yeah.
he didn't win
America's favorite player.
favorite player.
Yeah.
He's not feeling great right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But before he didn't win America's favorite player, I wondered how he felt about that unanimous vote. Because he was
He
thinking,
did not like that.
I'm gonna lose to Ozza, but if I'm sitting next to X,
I
I
have a
might have a
chance.
chance.
Dumbest equation ever. Hello? Dumbest equation. In what world? That is the extreme delusion.
Yes.
I have to know. Oh, I just got 75,000. Praise Jesus.
I'm glad I
Jimmy
even got
Best.
that.
Yes, like there. I'm never lying to myself that if I do like a basketball game with anybody in the world,
Because you have
that
like
I'm
a foot
winning.
in reality.
I have like half a toe in reality, and I still know I'm not winning against X.
Right.
When I slept all season, I slept for 92 days.
That's how I know you don't like. I know that the Big Brother house, 3 months there, it's a psychologically a lot. It's got to be, but you don't get to this level of delusion just
In
because of this.
92
Yeah,
days.
in 92
Yeah.
days.
You come in with that. Day one, son. When people try to give props to Big D, what was that about? Was that producership? Their jury
Oh yeah,
roundtable?
yeah. That's definitely they have to
Try
every
to give
season
parts,
they have
give
to
points about everybody,
Yeah.
pro and con. Okay, fine, whatever. I want producers to stay out of it. But if you have to say props about Big D, say like, I don't know, entertaining, whatever. But don't try to pretend that is strategy. Because what I love is that SV came back and said, that was not strategy. That was just him making natural relationships and entertaining the house. He didn't set out to do his social game.
Sarah Beth was on point. I like her so much more
Yeah,
as a juror.
Yeah, out of the game.
I don't know what that's. I think it's only because her
can hear
time
her
was
brain.
monopolized by Kylan, which is like typical manipulator stuff, like keeping her isolated
Yeah,
from everybody
can't
else.
talk to anyone.
And I think that really, ruined her game. I think if she had worked a little bit more on developing those relationships outside of Kylan, people would have seen that she's cool.
Why don't people know to develop relationships
Outside of one
anyone?
person.
Why don't we know that by now? 23 seasons. We already know showmances are not a thing for you, but fine. You want to call it a showmance or not, or bromance or friendmance, whatever. Still branch out. Your jury is more than one. Everybody has a vote that's equal. So
Maybe
know everyone.
Maybe it's skill set. Maybe people don't feel comfortable. I don't know.
Feel comfortable at home on your couch with Christian and the flight attendant and Whitney and Frenchie.
Who didn't get to say one word?
Nathan.
They gave Frenchie and
Zero.
Whitney 0 questions.
0 airtime. Because why are we wasting airtime asking you anything? What thoughts do you have to add?
And Brent, out of it, he surprised me with his answer.
Oh yeah,
and
to
support
Tiffany.
with Tiffany.
Support to Tiffany.
Yes.
Let's snap for that a
Give
whole
her
bunch
her
of times.
flowers.
Flowers when they're due. Yeah, that was beautiful and well said and just eloquent. And that gave a slam back to DF. It gave a slam to Ozza promoting X as the originator of the cookout. I don't care. Fine. What is it?
Okay, yeah.
D supposedly
put
brought the
them
people
together.
together. He saw all the black people and he did a math equation. He said, we're going to be in a group.
Mastermind.
Hashtag duh.
Mastermind.
Oh my God.
Who would have thought
Who
of
would have
that?
thought of that?
Only Big D.
Whatever.
Only Big
And
D.
then X is credited for naming it the cookout.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Cool.
Cute name.
Yeah, cute name.
Cute.
Got it.
Tiffany. Master plan.
Mastermind, master plan.
So, what was my point?
So Brent gave
Yeah.
her props
Gave her
where
her
they
props.
were due.
Because everyone's propping all around.
Yeah, they're
propping
all the non
all over the place.
people that don't need to be props.
No props. Yeah, that was beautiful. And I love how she humbly accepted it, just with the poise and the grace and that gentle smile. And
Because when you know who you are and you know who you've done,
Yeah.
you don't need to
prop
your own self up and be, I kicked everybody out one by one and I was in all the HOH's ear, because you know what
smile
you
like
did.
Kylan. Right. Yes, you know what you did.
And you just let your record speak for
You are
itself.
literally the reason that the Six made it.
Yeah.
Imagine
And
if she won.
if she had went back on her master plan, she would have won. That's the
That's the thing.
craziness about
of the
it.
dynamic.
That she created a monster, basically.
Oh, she created a monster. Because Claire would have given it to her. Any of both.
All the
people.
all the jury would have voted for her to win.
Yes.
Every
if somebody
single
could
one
have
of
just
them.
gotten X out.
Yeah.
And Kylan.
Yeah.
Get those two people out.
Even next to anybody, she would have won. She just had to make it.
I think it would have been a
two.
toss up if X and Kylan,
Oh.
one of them were there beside Tiffany.
Nah.
I don't think.
No, because what we've been saying about X, he was protected and he didn't actually make any moves. Tiffany
Yeah,
would have
but
had
the
a better.
psycho thoughts of some people that makes him even think that he's so great to get there is people see the goodness in you that's not there sometimes. It's like, oh, well, X did this and X did that. You're going to bypass Tiffany and the plan of what she did as the greatness and see X's manliness and all his winningness and
Yeah.
the testosterone. You'll take that as value versus seeing what
but
she
I don't
did.
think I don't think this particular jury would have done that, because
'Cause
I
they're
think
smart.
that they would have seen Tiffany's value and not. But you are right that, and this is something I also can't take credit for, but there was this tweet that said like 80% of X's game was being a heterosexual man, like masculine man that is somewhat attractive, and that's all he had to do to get people to like lay down
Before him.
their
Their
big
lives.
brother games and lives for him, and he like it just kept falling into his lap, and he's
Yeah.
like, all right, Asa, you want to take me all of a sudden
Yeah.
for some reason? Okay, that works
No
for me.
problem. I'm here for it.
Kylan, you want to play Batman versus Superman? Okay, that works for me. He had to do nothing.
Nothing.
And no one was just giving that to Hannah. No
Yeah.
one was just giving that to Tiffany. But they decided to give that to Xavier, and he hadn't really proven himself to do anything. They would just assume that, he probably would
He's
be
a great
comp
player,
threat.
yeah.
He probably would be a great player. So he probably will win the game.
Yeah, that's what
And
you
then
do.
and then he just
you
does.
place your thoughts and you decide that it's true.
Yeah. Xavier,
Not arbitrary, ambiguous.
he was studying a lot this week. But Asa came through. She only missed one.
And she said in her exit interview that she knew what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then Julie's like, "You knew when I said the answer? Is that when you knew?"
When did you? Well, it's because she didn't have anything else to ask her.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna ask? Like,
What have
was
you done?
What was your favorite meal that you cooked for
Yes.
house guests?
What was your favorite dream you had while you were sleeping in the house? Inquiring minds. Inquiring minds. Like, what favorite fantasy did you have of X? Like,
It really was only two questions. That, like, when did you know you were gonna miss that, or that you missed that question?
and why did you defer your
And
game to X? Pretty
and
much.
who would you have taken if you had one? Mm-hmm. And then she said X. So it would have been the same outcome.
Yeah,
no
there
matter
was
what.
nothing to say to her.
Oh yeah, I forgot who asked. Was it Alyssa? One of the jurors asked X, "What was the biggest mistake that you've made?" And he took about a good 15 minutes to try to figure out his answer.
Why? Because he thinks he did not make any mistakes.
Right. I'm X. What are you talking about? Make a
What is
mistake.
the definition of this question you're asking? I don't
You think
understand.
I
I don't
made a
understand
mistake?
such words that you speak.
Stop.
all of the glaring into the wilderness and trying to decide and think and ponder.
He had a quick answer for everything else except that one,
'cause he had not prepared.
He had prepared.
He had not prepared to be
talk
wrong in
himself
anything.
up of all the things and the greatness that I am.
That is he. But the answer
mistake.
that he gave was what? It was the interview answer that you give on a job interview.
Of what's your biggest weakness?
What's your biggest weakness, and
Like,
where you
I'm
have
a
to
team
answer.
player.
Yeah, I work so hard that I forget to take care of myself sometimes, which makes me, falter in my work. So, like where you're just like,
You still
I'm
hype
so
yourself
giving
up.
in my expertise. You hype yourself up so much where it then sounds like a flaw. So what was his answer? I don't even remember. It was just like, I suck at being amazing.
Yeah, it was my, I made such good connections with my team, the Kings, and it was really hard to see each of you leave. That's not even a mistake.
At my hand.
How did that mess up your game in any way?
Yeah. Totally promoted your game. They're gone and you're still here.
Right.
Not answering the question. He didn't know. And I just think it's interesting to analyze
He didn't know how to think about the question.
Yeah. Survivor would have known. Those are Survivor type questions where you have to say, where did your gameplay falter? Why does the person next to you deserve to win more than you?
Do you think that, because I don't watch Survivor, but do you think that Survivor, the contestants are more like analytical in that way than Big Brother contestants?
I think they are, and they give more jury time definitely in Survivor, but I feel like they should be more analytical in Big Brother.
Right.
Because you are there, like,
For so long.
the dynamics are different in Survivor, but the analysis is greater.
There was a very, outside of Tiffany winning America's Favorite Player, there was another very heartwarming moment. I almost shed a tear.
Almost wiped her tear.
She almost wiped away my one solitary tear from my cheek. And that was when, after everyone said their secrets, some we already knew, some, well, I guess we knew all of the secrets, but they didn't. But one that we also knew was Brittany, I guess sharing her journey of having autism, and that, this was a really monumental moment because, she may not have thought that she would have made it that far. And just the way that everyone comforted her, and, it just shows how great of a cast it is, just all around.
As people.
There's literally no... Yeah, I guess minus Kylan. But I mean, everyone is just so warm and understanding, and it was really lovely to see.
And then
they transitioned.
And then hard cut. Kylan, the villain.
It was like
what was that editing about?
Any other person a question, at least like in the middle.
Anyone. Ask the rubber duckies from last season a question.
Ask the ants if they ate well during
on the couch and in the kitchen. Ask the fire that blew up in the stove. But don't hard cut to Kylan and the villain story, and he's all weird and uncomfortable. And no, not after I wiped her tears. Not after that, editors. Come on, do better.
Very, very hard edit.
Do better. Kylan doubling down.
Yeah, and then he gets the question about Julie trying to give him yet one more opportunity to apologize in a meaningful way for what he said to Xavier in his exit. And he doubles down yet again, like, I've been asked a lot about this, almost like he's annoyed. Like, why do you keep asking me? Now even Julie's asking me why I talked about X's nephew. If you listen to the tape, we just watched the tape. I invite you to also watch the tape and listen to my words that came out of my mouth.
Don't invite me to nothing. Don't invite me to the cookout.
Don't invite me to the cookout. Don't invite me to next season. Like, it's done. And he literally doubled down
when he got out. Yes.
And he doubled down.
Don't double down. Double up at this point.
Sideways,
double
like
up,
any
double
other
sideways.
direction
Hello,
besides down.
Yes.
He cannot get out of his villainous ways.
Yes.
It's his ego.
Mm-hmm. We want to know who won third for America's Favorite Player. I hope it was Claire personally. This goes back to the other conversation. And I also hope that it was not D.
Claire will, this is what gives me solace. She'll get her love from America, from Twitter, from social media.
Right.
Big D he has a lot of receipts coming his way about the things that problematic things he said. in the house.
He'll get his love for his entertaining self also, and he, but oh no,
Not from
okay.
live feeders.
Not from live feeders. Okay, we're done. Goodbye.
Okay, yes, that
This
was
was our
Big
third-
Brother 23.
Big Brother 23.
Um,
Our third time talking to you all.
It's been fun.
Maybe we'll talk more in February for the celebrity.
Celebrity Big Brother.
Yeah. I mean, like, comment, and subscribe, whether you like us or not.
Whether you watch Big Brother or not.
I'm gonna be non-objective, like Kylan.
Objective fact.
Watch the tape back. When is it gonna shut off?